Let me tell you, Mr. Wadhwa is the senior most IRS officer. I have. Thank you. Welcome, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Asirada. My friends, ladies and gentlemen, in the evening, it's not a very pleasant subject to talk of income tax and much less the recent amendments in the income tax law. But as you would have seen, the recent amendments brought about such basic changes that very eminent international persons like Gordon Brown, the Finance Minister of UK, like Tom Ginther, US Secretary of Treasury, they started doubting the very bona fides and the commitments of the government to honor its international tax treaties. Internally, after the recent amendments, there was a great criticism of these changes, so much so that Mr. Harish Salve, eminent jurist, an expert on taxation and constitutional law, he said that these recent changes will bring about the sure ruin of India. These were the words he used. What were these changes? Why were they to bring about the ruin? What were the consequences if the changes were allowed to be put into practice? That is, I'll speak for about 5-10 minutes, and what has been done now. Then Mr. Arora was mentioning about certain difficulties that the taxpayers are facing, about the computerization in the income tax department and the computer processing center at Bangalore. Well, gentlemen, I have been the author. Even after my retirement in 2005, the government of India employed me for the reforms in India, and my job was re-engineering of the processes. I recommended that the only way of bringing about efficiency in the income tax department is that human hand should not touch your return. This was my thesis, and we recommended 6 computer centers, one of which has been set up in Bangalore. And believe you me, the Bangladesh government, when I first took up the assignment, their chairman of the National Board of Revenue told me, Mr. Wadhwa, we want a duplicate computer processing center in Dhaka. They were so impressed because we started getting refunds, most of us started getting refunds without our knowing they've been captured in our bank accounts. There are difficulties. I appreciate that Mr. Arora has pointed out to me. But the basic concept that whatever can be done by the computer should not be done by human beings. So our recommendation was that income tax department should be divided into 2 broad areas: mass processing to be done by the computer and compliance to be done by human beings. And in the compliance, find out tax commissions, concealment and things like that. So all the processing work of computing your tax liability on the basis of your return and sending you a bill if you have paid less tax and give you the refund if you have paid more tax was to be done by the computer. This was the basic concept behind the computerization. And your difficulties will be sorted out. This year 2 more computers are being set up, one in Pune and other one in Haryana. Another 3 are planned. So thereafter, not only the person will be having more convenience, the honest taxpayers, but the dishonest taxpayers will start shivering. We have got billions of information now collected, billions of information about the taxpayers, their investments, their expenditure pattern, their club. We do not have the computer capacity to check electronically this information. Because if you give this information to the income tax officers to verify manually, then we have a